So what we'll do now then is play you a little bit of Wet, 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 and very shortly we will hear from Marti Pellow. He'll tell us about the Wets. Yep, they're still going strong, still touring. And also about this touring production of Evita in which he stars as Che Guevara. BBC Radio Oxford Saturday morning, and Marti Pellow then plays Che Guevara in Evita. It comes to the Aylesbury Waterside Theatre next week from Monday the 14th of July. And look, he's on the phone now. Morning, Marti Pellow.
Hurrah!
Calm down, man. Calm down.
Much enthusiasm. I've never been to Aylesbury.
Well, you're going to have a wonderful surprise when you do arrive. Talk us through Evita then, in the sense that how's it all going? Because you're on tour with it at the moment, aren't you?
Indeed I am. I've been doing it now for several months. This is my first Andrew Lloyd Webber score, and I must say that, for me it's been a real eye-opener, because I was familiar with the songs from Evita as a child when I was growing up, songs like Oh What a Circus or Don't Cry for Me Argentina.
Yeah.
And then to see them in the context of the show, it's just a wonderful piece. Great writing. It's a good job I've got.
You have got a good job, yes. And it's kind of one that you, in terms of musical theatre generally, you fell into it, didn't you, really? It was never part of your plan.
No, it really wasn't. I was doing a gig at the Albert Hall for Pete Townsend for the Teenage Cancer Trust. And one of my guests that night was Ruthie Henshaw. And Ruthie had just come back from Broadway playing Chicago. And there was a couple of producers with her, and they came backstage and asked me if I would like to get involved in the Kander and Ebb score, the musical Chicago, of which I said, well, I'd never really thought about musical theatre, but let me go and see the show. And I went to see the show and fell in love with the score and thought, yeah, I can do something with this, I really can, and with the right help, and so much so that, I did my West End debut.
Obviously, it was different to fronting a band. Was that more nerve-wracking or more difficult than fronting a band?
Well, I think once you get your head round it, it's a different genre, and you do your homework. I guess you do have fears when you enter a new art form, I guess. But, the music and the songs that I had to sing, like in this piece, Evita, are good work. They're well-written pieces.
I've got to talk about the Wets, because the Wets are in existence again. I mean, you toured at the end of last year, didn't you?
Yeah. We went and did an arena tour, and it never ceases to amaze me. I mean, I think we've did about 2 or 3 tours in the last 15 years. We're not exactly the most prolific of tourers, and when we decided to go on the road, they said, okay, let's book the O2 in these arenas, and I'm going, well, are you sure about that, but I need not have worried, because, we have such a strong fan base there who come out and support us. It never ceases to amaze me. I guess people still hold our songs and with a great love, as we do. Yeah, it was wonderful touring with my friends.
That's absolutely fantastic. When you look back at that initial success, though, back in the mid-'80s, I mean, what does that appear like to you now in your mind's eye? Is that another world?
Well, I think it's it's a great documentation of that part of my life. I got to travel, and still do, around the world on a song. It's a blessing. A real blessing. And obviously with the advent of videos, I have a great documentation of some dodgy haircuts and trousers that were way too tight.
Listen, at least you still got your own hair.
All down my back, none in my head.
Likewise, mate. Don't worry about that. You said you travelled all around the world on a song. I mean, you've travelled all around the world on several songs. The one song, of course, that people do talk about is Love Is All Around.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, huge song, that very powerful song. At the time, there was the Whitney Houston song and Bryan Adams song as well, and a Wet song, which were big, massive smash hits from movies and really captured the imagination of the British public, so much so it kept it there for a very long time. Well,
it was number one for, 4.5 years, I think, Marty?
I think it still is number one, actually, the last time I looked. But what can you say about that song? It's a wonderful song. We enjoy playing it, and enough time has passed, i.e. 20 years, where you can look back and go, that's a great song, and see it for the wonderful pop song that Elvis Presley penned,
It is a great song. We'll play it in a moment. Is it true, though, that you were number one for 15 weeks, to be serious, and then the band, you pulled it from sale?
Well, I think it was time to put the song to bed so that we could make way for the wonderful song that was Wakefield.
Did you let Wakefield Saturday Night get in at number one?
She seemed a hell of a nice lassie. It was nice to give somebody else a shot at number one. You can only eat chocolate every day for so long.
I think you're a very generous chap.
I'm sure she was delighted with it.
I'm sure she was. I'm sure your record company were as well. In the meantime, you're in Evita, as we've already mentioned. For anybody who may, for some inexplicable reason, not know what Evita is about, just fill us in, just briefly, if you would, Marty.
Well, it's about the journey of Eva Peron, Tim Rice, Andrew Lloyd Webber musical that has stunning songs, a beautiful production, great choreography by Bill Dima. Maybe people might be familiar with Antonio Banderas and Madonna movie interpretation of it, but our world's a different world as well. I suggest you come and see. If it's one musical you see, come along and see us in that. It's a fantastic Bill Kenwright production.
And in terms of your role as Che Guevara, is that a difficult role to play on stage?
Well, I'm almost like a kind of narrator type individual, almost like the conscience of the Argentinian people. You know, I kind of comment on what I see unfolding and kind of walk the audience through the journey of Evita. It's a very, very powerful story. You know, it starts off with her as a child, and it takes her right through to her unfortunate early death. I think it was 33, she passed away. It's just such a powerful show, and there's moments in it that if you're prepared to invest in the piece, you know, I'm sure you'll have a tear in your eye. And
yeah, exactly. I mean, I was going to say it's powerful because it's inspiring, but you know, it's tragic as well, isn't it?
Yes, it is indeed. And I think when you see the hospital scene with Evita and Perón, you really feel the whole fragility of life. It really is a powerful piece.
Right, your last chance to see Marti Pellow in this production of Evita is at the Aylesbury Waterside Theatre from Monday, July the 14th until Saturday, July the 19th. If you want more information, book tickets, you can go to the website. It's www.atgtickets.com and follow the various links from there. Marti, good to talk to you. Thank you for joining us on BBC Radio Oxford. What are you up to then immediately after this? You're going to put your feet up, have a rest for a while?
No, I think it's important that I continue to do more writing, you know, and me as a songwriter, it's just about exploring more avenues in that world, you know, just to get some of these songs that are living rent-free inside my head at the moment, get them out.
Well, good luck with that, and good luck with Evita next week in Aylesbury, and thanks again for talking to us. Cheers, Marti.
Thank you much.